back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. My name is Palmyra and I love chatting about skincare, makeup, and all things beauty. So to wrap up our Best of 2020 series, I am going to bring you a best of moisturizers that I have tried in 2020. I've tried so many moisturizers and I have kind of watched my skin go from extremely dry to normal to a little combination, a little oily, to absolutely parched. So I feel like I have a few different ones that address a few different things, and I'm excited to bring you this video today. I will not be doing a best of sunscreens video because I'd like to bring you a second sunscreen series on this channel, and I'm just discovering new sunscreens all the time. My favorite sunscreen of 2020 was actually the Purito sunscreen after I had tried it, but unfortunately due to the controversy and the fact that it has been proven that the sunscreen is only SPF 18 or 19, I believe, I had to stop using it on my face. I now use it on the backs of my hands. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to bring you a second sunscreen series, so stay tuned for that. No best of sunscreen video just yet, but if you want to go ahead and watch my old sunscreen videos, I highly recommend that. And I kind of just want to wrap up this Best of 2020 series with moisturizers. So without further ado, let's get into the video. First up, we have SkinMedica's TNS Ceramide Treatment Cream. Now this is on the pricier side, but given the sophistication of the peptides, ceramides, and growth factors in here, I feel like it is worth the price. And if you are looking for a cream that is going to really help anti-aging or kind of supplement your anti-aging routine, then I would definitely look into this product. Or if you are having a lot of skin barrier issues, you have a compromised skin barrier, maybe you've overexfoliated, or your skin feels perpetually tight and dry but oily at the same time, and everything is stinging on your face. Things like this, creams that contain ceramides, which are essentially the building block of your skin's layers, are going to be very, very helpful in helping bring your skin back to a level of homeostasis. So a bit more about this cream and why I think it's worth the money. So this cream contains a couple different peptides, the first being palmitoyl tripeptide 1. And this is a peptide that is part of Matrixyl 3000. You may have heard of Matrixyl 3000 because The Ordinary sells it, and it's a very widely sold peptide complex. Peptides are skin communicating skin ingredients made up of amino acids, which are building blocks of proteins, which we need for our skin health. And this peptide really helps your skin absorb oils better, which is really key if you have dry or parched skin. And the next peptide is palmitoyl tetrapeptide 7, and this peptide actually inhibits an inflammatory response from occurring in your skin in the first place, which if you are dealing with sensitivity is absolutely key. And apart from some pretty impressive skin nourishing ingredients, including some fabulous emollients and humectants, this guy's claim to fame is actually its human fibroblast conditioned media. If you're wondering what that is, it's basically a very fancy name for a growth factor cocktail, and that basically signals your skin cells to repair and heal themselves, which is very key when you're building up your skin barrier, and that is the reason for the pricey price tag. However, I really enjoy this cream. It is very rich on the skin, but spreadable, likely due to the emollients in here, and my skin just feels so good afterwards. I really reach for this when I have overexfoliated, when I'm using a heavy amount of retinol in my routine. I'm maybe using retinol every night. I really do reach for this guy. I think it's a preventative step at the moment for me, but it also has really helped heal my skin when I'm suffering from dry patches or sensitivity. This is such a gentle formula as well. I don't think it's going to irritate even the most sensitive of skins because it doesn't contain any kind of essential oils or fragrance in here that would, tend to irritate sensitive skin types. So again, I absolutely love this guy. It has a very rich consistency and it feels really good on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin, I'll say, and it dissipates and absorbs quite easily. So even if you're dry, this is not the kind of product that is going to sit on the skin for a long time, which I really, really appreciate. I think that's what face masks are for, like sleeping masks or a heavy butter-like balm would be for, but I like my creams to kind of absorb easily into the skin. I would recommend this if you are dealing with, again, a barrier issue or you are wanting to kickstart your anti-aging routine. Next up, we have an OG favorite. You may have seen this if you are not new to my channel. My first skincare routine featured this guy, which is the Hymed Original Reconstructive Cream. I will forever have this in my routine. It is such a staple. I believe it's $36 and the jar is massive. You get 4 fluid ounces in here, which is absolutely incredible for the money. Now, this cream is marketed towards people with psoriasis, eczema, and severe dryness. And before I discovered the SkinMedica, this is what I would reach for when I just did not know what to put on my skin because it was so sensitive. Now, this contains a really high percentage of hyaluronic acid, and that's really the product's main claim to fame. And it also contains glycerin, which, as we know, is a really important humectant, and it's pretty much great for all skin types. It also contains petrolatum. So if you are sensitive to petrolatum, I would stay away from this one. But for me personally, I find the petrolatum in a formula such as this one, which is a watery cream. It doesn't actually feel like a thick occlusive. It still helps to seal moisture into the skin. The combination of hyaluronic acid in here, glycerin, and then that petrolatum base is really going to help ensure that there's no water loss. Everything is locked into your skin. And so if you're dehydrated even, I feel like this cream is really, really good. Now, I would recommend this to people who are on the drier side just because it is a richer consistency. But if you are dealing with some dryness as an effect from your retinol and you are oily and acne prone, I do think that you could get away with this guy as well. Just be sure to patch test. And as the cream suggests, if you have eczema or rosacea or psoriasis, you need this in your routine. It has saved me so many times. You would think that the texture would be really buttery and rich like the SkinMedica, but I would say that this is actually a lighter weight cream, even though the ingredients would suggest that it would be really thick. It usually doesn't feel heavy on my skin, except for during the summertime when my skin leans more normal. Sometimes it will feel a little bit too much, but it spreads really beautifully, and it's just one of those simple, boring, but very essential necessities that I have in my skincare routine, and I can't recommend it enough. Next up, we have the Cosrx Advanced Snail 92 All-in-One Cream. Now, this cream has a really interesting texture to it. It's like a gel texture, and I think that this is one that falls in line with a cream that's great for all skin types because it has this gel watery texture. It's super hydrating, so I would say if you are on the oily side, you are possibly dehydrated as well. So reaching for a cream like this one would not be a bad idea if you can get past the really fun, slippery texture. Now, although when I show you the texture, it looks like it might be sticky, it's not sticky at all, and it doesn't feel kind of wet or too heavy on the skin. It actually applies really, really beautifully, but I will say a little goes a long way. So just be sure not to over apply, because I find that if I apply way too much, then that's when it starts to feel a little bit too much on my skin. Another reason that I would recommend this cream to oily skin, sensitive skin, and acne prone skin is that it's alcohol, fragrance, and essential oil free, which I really, really like to see. Its claim to fame, as the name suggests, is its snail mucin. It has a high concentration, 92% of snail mucin, and snail mucin is an antioxidant that's very, very popular in the Korean skincare community and world. And it's really amazing for hydrating the skin. Not only will it really help boost hydration levels, but it's also been shown to kind of help heal dark spots. The research on this is fairly new, but I find it to be pretty promising as hydrated skin does heal better, so it makes sense to me. It also contains some really good humectants. You have sodium hyaluronate, which we know and love. You have soothing ingredients such as panthenol and allantoin, and you also have adenosine, mucin, which is a cell communicating ingredient which really helps heal your skin barrier. So overall, a very simple but really well curated ingredient list here, and I find that this is a great all-rounder for pretty much any skin type. I feel like if you are very, very dry, then maybe you're going to need something that is a bit more oil-based, but for most skin types, this is an absolutely fabulous cream, and it's something that I find I really enjoy using in my routine, and I've been using it as part of my evening routine for the last few months, and I absolutely love it. All right, now moving on to a lighter texture, this is the Klairs Midnight Blue Calming Cream. I really like that this is in a tube format. I think that's really great, and I would really love to see more brands come out with tube formats for their packaging. I just feel like it's way more hygienic, but I really like this. Again, I feel like this is in the same vein as the Cosrx. It's much more appropriate for acne-prone and oilier skin types, although I personally love using it when my skin feels more normal. It's very anti-inflammatory. Its star ingredient here is guaiacylene, which is a derivative of chamomile. Very, very soothing. It also contains Centella asiatica, which is soothing as well as an antioxidant. And in general, its ingredient list is really, really impressive to me. You also have sodium hyaluronate in here, which is an excellent humectant, as well as several different peptides in here, essentially boosting collagen production and promoting wound healing, which is key if you're trying to build your anti-aging routine as well as repair your skin barrier. So overall, I'm very, very impressed by the price point of this one, and I highly, highly recommend it. It's one of my favorites and another K-beauty product that's really, really impressed me this year. The texture, I would say, is very lightweight. It's much more water-based, very smooth, applies very easily over the skin, and it has this blue tinge to it, but it does dissipate once you rub it into the skin. I would say this is a very different texture than something like the SkinMedica, because this one is much richer and oil-based, and this one is clearly a water-based gel product, but that doesn't mean that it's not hydrating. I would say it's very, very hydrating. If you have a ton of dry patches and flakes, you're probably going to want to look for an oil-based moisturizer, but if you are normal and just very dehydrated, this one is a great one as well. Last but not least, we have the Cocokind Matcha Face Moisturizer. This one is a very, very rich hydrating cream. It smells amazing, but it's not heavily scented. What's actually causing it to have this really soft texture is the pomegranate extract in here, and that's what gives it its fruity smell. Pomegranate is actually a great antioxidant, and this is packed with antioxidants. It contains organic matcha tea powder, which is an antioxidant, helps protect your skin from free radicals. It also contains green tea, which is rich in fatty acids, again, very important for skin health and just building your skin barrier. So really overall love it. Matcha tea actually really helps against redness. If your skin is really red, it really does help reduce the appearance of that. And I find that overall this is a good formula. It contains glycerin, which we love, and it is silicone free. Now, I personally don't have a problem with silicone in my products. I really enjoy it because it kind of helps smooth everything over, and it's an FDA approved skin protectant. But if you don't like silicone in your products, you may really enjoy this one. I will say though, you can tell that it's silicone free. It does not spread as easily as all of the other creams that I mentioned. Sometimes it catches, which is very strange because this is a very hydrating cream that I would suggest to someone with very dry skin. However, the fact that it doesn't spread as easily sometimes weirds me out because it makes me think that it's not going to be hydrating, but it is. It is. And my favorite way to apply it is to actually add maybe a drop of oil in there, and then I spread it around. I usually mix my rosehip seed oil in with this one, and it feels really wonderful. It doesn't feel too heavy, and it's kind of interesting because it dries a little bit matte. So whereas something like the Hymed Original Reconstructive Cream would leave me with a dewy finish, this does not. want. So if you don't like a very dewy finish underneath your makeup, or you don't want a moisturizer to mess with your makeup application, this would be a really, really good one to reach for. Overall, I still really, really enjoy it, and I think it's a very great option for people who have a lot of sensitivities. You don't know what you're sensitive to. It has a very simple ingredient list. I mean, I have to say, all of these moisturizers have a very, very simple ingredient list. This is probably the richest moisturizer out of all of the 5 that I have talked about. So if you're extremely dry, I would reach for something like this. It will really help seal all of your hydrating ingredients into your skin. It will help prevent from that transepidermal water loss, and I really like it. It's clearly oil-based. It smells amazing, but you can be really assured that it doesn't contain any artificial fragrance and things like that. And it also has a pretty affordable price point, making it a really good choice for someone who doesn't want to overspend on their moisturizer. So again, really, really like this one. Again, I definitely think drier skins would like this, normal to dry. If you're oily, I don't really see you getting along with this. Doesn't contain a lot of those sophisticated peptides, but it does contain antioxidants, which is always good. You want those antioxidants in there to help fight free radicals, but I'd say in terms of sophistication, it's probably the simplest moisturizer out of the list. That does not mean that's a bad thing. Sometimes we just need simple moisturizers to help seal everything. I would say the Hymed and the Cocokind are on the simpler side, and then the SkinMedica, Cosrx, and Klairs are a little bit more sophisticated and have some very interesting ingredients to the formulas. All right, and there you have it, you guys. That is my roundup for my favorite moisturizers of 2020. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, as always, please comment down below. I hope you give this video a like if you like videos like these, and please consider subscribing, and then you'll get to see all of the videos I post. Fenty skin review is coming at you next, and I have a couple of other reviews coming your way, so definitely keep that notification bell on. And if you have any video requests, as always, please comment down below. Wishing you a very, very good week and hopefully a great start to your 2021, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!